Alright, the next quest in the Eden quest line that should give us what is called E5 is called Blood and Thunder, which takes me back to World of Warcraft because I believe the orcs would say that. Blood and Thunder. Anyway, Blood and Thunder given to us by Gaia. We are in the empty, looking out over this lake that we've created. Here we go. Cutscene. We have her looking out over the lake. Her hair actually does flow like down to her lower back, just about like the middle of her lower back. Excuse me, sorry. I know what it's like. It was the same for me, says Ryne, coming up behind her. But I was lucky because Thancred freed me from Yulmore and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people and they taught me not to live in another's shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day you'll have that chance too. Said your piece, have you? Not turning yet. Says Ryne. One day? What's that supposed to mean? She turns to face her now. I don't know how the great Oracle of Light sees such things, but for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow, there was no future, only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time, it won't wait. Not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia? That's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me my name, I couldn't remember. Oh. He nods to Ryne about it. That's when the Faerie whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, surely someone there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew had either disappeared or had been turned into sin-eaters, those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognized me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most sociable person, but still. Well, even if it's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I'll call you. And if you're willing, instead of the Oracle of Light, please call me Ryne. It's not the name I was born with, that's long forgotten now, but the one the people whom I consider family gave to me. Is that so? Gaia looks to me, as does Ryne. Well, as much as I'd love to keep up this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the Faerie would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far, nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that I appeared out of the blue. I nod at that. Perhaps if you were to actually try flying it somewhere, the Faerie might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore, or whatever it was, why don't you hurry up and get it over with? My options are, at once, your ladyship, or you need to learn some manners. At once, your ladyship? I give a bow. A mock bow. Aye, it may be best to resign ourselves to her mannerisms. A good thing we're not wholly unfamiliar with attending nobility, given certain company in the Scions. Of whomever dost thou speak, I wonder, says Urianger. All right, everyone, I think we've talked for long enough. If you're ready, let's make our way to Eden. Eden. Quest accepted. Barter. Something tells me we're about to fight a souped-up Ramu. We talk to Urianger inside the core to continue. Following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the empty hath displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability, some may call this and be satisfied, but in truth it is passivity, a passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, a third element that shall rouse and stabilize those unleashed energies in activity. Therefore, I propose lightning. So the primer would be Ramu, yes? From what I've heard, he's a guardian of the forest and not particularly keen on conflict. But you've actually fought him, haven't you? Yeah. My options are he's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. Or, I spent most of the time chasing after orbs with varying degrees of success. Both things are true. He's half man, half beard, and another half beard for good measure. He's a lot of beard. Ah yes, Thancred mentioned that he more closely resembles a person than a beast, unlike most other primals, and apparently he tends not to move about much. Also true, yeah. I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say. If we want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I should picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try, but the rest is up to Mercy. I didn't know you were bringing up a picture in your mind at all. Gaia just shrugs at all this. In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than sitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't you get this blasted thing moving first? One must admit the suggestion is not without merit. Ryne, might I suggest the Gandalf Thunder Plains as our next location? These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds, the only source of illumination, the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether that lingereth there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. It sounds like that Final Fantasy X zone where you can try to dodge lightning like 1,000 or 100 times in a row to get an item. Then that's where we're heading. Come on, Eden, we've got a job to do. We? What's Eden gonna do? This should be as good a spot as any. Again, we don't see the spot. There's no purpose whatsoever to have a black screen right now. Alright, Mercy, whenever you're ready. I reach out. Memories of Ramuh flash through your mind. And I reach out to the device. Eden's verse, Fulmination, now accessible. So it's not gate anymore, now it's verse. I'm gonna do a super quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. Alright. I really truly thought, you know, maybe I should watch a video first. So as not to just waste people's time. But I didn't do that for any of the Omega fights. And I haven't done it so far unless I found myself at a point where I just had no idea what I was doing wrong. So, we're going to continue that. Eden's verse, Fulmination. We have a very rainy, rocky terrain. There's
no turning back. Get ready!
What? Voice acting? Great. That was Ryne, by the way. Lightning is striking a square platform on top of like this pillar of stone in the middle of an otherwise, like, you can probably be knocked off here. Heritor of Levin.
So, this is Ramu.
That's Gaia. Ramu is a centaur now. No beard, really. It's all very... I mean, he's got facial hair, but it's very well maintained. He also has a spear and black wings, kind of vulture-ish wings with some feathers are red near the top. Crippling blow. Sounds like a tank buster, and it was. We're fine though. I am not crippled, nor blown. Oh wait, no. Okay, I thought I saw a beard, but it was the centaur tail. We've summoned some circles, and those have become spears. One is taller than the other, so it'll take longer to do that one. Nope. Okay. Okay. So you run away from the taller spear, because it is a one-shot. Judgment Bolt. Okay. Interesting. And it looks like you have to run far enough away to where you're a little bit past the other smaller spear. I don't have a hard and fast rule about how many failures it takes for me to watch a video. So far it's been in the realm of like 3 or 4. It's mostly if I can't figure it out. So that's the taller spear. Get away from it, past the second spear. And, you know, a good amount past the second spear. Okay, wait, now what? Okay. It's left some orbs on the ground, which I have a feeling are about to explode in like circular AoEs, but I don't know yet. Also a spread out mechanic. The orbs in the past, you had to run through them. Judgment bolts. I have 2 stacks of vulnerability now. Not the worst thing for me as a tank, but plenty of orbs are still on the ground. Fury's bolts. I don't know what that just did. With all my might I smite thee. Great. Divine Judgment bolts. I don't know what that did. It didn't really do damage to me, even with the Vuln stacks, so I don't know. He's targeting an orb on one side that has become like a demon thing with a knockback from the middle here. Like a slidey knockback, okay. And then he summoned 3 other demons on a different side. I don't know what to do. Okay, they just dashed along their line, that's fine. I was between a couple of them. And he's summoning spears again. 4 of them this time. 3 of them are tall, 1 is not. I'm gonna get to the very edge over here. Yep, that seems to be the right thing to do. Divine Judgment Bolts. I don't know what this does. Let's just grab one of these in case. Like I grabbed an orb. Your body is covered in conductive matter, reducing the damage of certain attacks. So I think you might want to have an orb at all times, but I don't know for sure. There's some circles following me. Getting bigger every 4th circle. 5th circle? I have 3 stacks of surge protection. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. In the first Ramuh fight, you only wanted like a max of 3, I think. Otherwise, you got some kind of debuff that was bad. Okay, some more summons. He sent... It looked like he sent some things flying over in a direction. This guy had a knockback last time from the center. I'm assuming if you're in the center part, you will die. Okay. So getting more than 3 stacks with the bolts is a vuln stack. I'm already halfway through. I'm just worried that I'm gonna do something stupid and waste this entire... I want to be between these guys. They're about to do line attack. Crippling blow. I'll just put up my shield block for it. Sorry. Holy Shelton. Spears again. Two this time, for now at least. That took longer than last time. Is that something I should be worried about? No, seemingly not. But he's got a storm cloud. That's different. Oh, it's just pulsing one spot. Every few seconds it pulses some more lightning. Oh, he used up one of the charges that I had. Okay, that was cool. I didn't notice that. All right, we have a knockback from the center that is paired with like a line thing. I'll just grab this thing. That's fine. We're at 28%. Judgment Volts. Is that the thing that eats up one of my charges? Yes, it did. Surge Protection. Thunderstorm, I don't remember seeing that, but it could just be area, like group, like entire zone thing. Oh, it's these followy bits. Alright, we have another don't be in this line thing. Shoot. Saw it. The horses race across. Boo doo 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 doo. Ba 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 ba. Crippling blow. Ba da da da. Cripple blow. 16%. A couple more stabs are summoned. I wish I wasn't. Oh, I can still use this at range, huh? Cool. Didn't totally waste my damage buff. I'm scared occasionally that the Judgment Bolt thing is gonna go off twice out of nowhere. Which is, you know, it's a one-shot. I didn't grab one of the bolts for the surge protection for that thing, so I got a Vuln stack. I'm now at 3 Vuln stacks for some reason. 1%, 2%. Alright, that's backwards. What am I talking 9.5, 0.1, and done.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light.
And he explodes into like light blue motes. Rears up on his hind centaur legs and explodes. Cool. We get, instead of Helm of Early Antiquity, now we're getting Helm of Golden Antiquity. So these are probably supposed to be harder fights, which as a group it probably would be a lot of spread out mechanics, and yeah. Yeah. And what was I also gonna say? You get an extra 100 if it's somebody's first time doing the raid. So like these will probably show up in duty roulette under probably normal raids. They only go up to level 60, so maybe not. I don't know how you would get these. No, you need to be level 6. That's right, you need to be level 60. So normal raids would include the Eden stuff and Omega stuff. Alliance raids would be 24. No, wait, hold on. I want to say 24, remember. I think that's wrong. Is it 18? It's 3 groups of... Is it 3 groups of 8? It might be three groups. So maybe it was 24. Anyway, we talked to Ryne in the core to finish the quest. I thought I was prepared to expect anything, but I didn't expect Ramuh to turn out quite like that. Appearance aside, he was quite aggressive as well. The sylph's belief in him as a kindly guardian clearly makes a difference to his temperament. Anyway, I'm just glad it's over. Let's get back to the camp and see if anything's changed. 3,000 gil. Again, we can pick a materia that doesn't matter because we're just going to sell it at a vendor. If I keep choosing, well, looks like I have piety and tenacity, but final cutscene. The crystal pillar tower thingy is now purple, and all the smaller crystals that are kind of like circling around it in orbit, as it were, are purple also. A light purple. Lavender? I don't know. The crystal's a different color, but apart from that, it all looks the same. It may look the same, but it feels different. The air has grown slightly more humid, as it does before rain. I have to say, I'm not exactly prepared for wet weather. If Eden can control elements and so on, can't you tell it to send those clouds somewhere else? Speaking of which, I'm not very impressed with its so-called powers. If changing yellow crystals to purple is the extent of its abilities, it's no surprise the Faerie didn't bother showing up. I hope that whatever's next is more worthwhile. I'm not going to be able to copy their voices that you heard in the beginning of that fight, and I'm not even going to try. Rather than influencing the ground beneath our feet, Eden hath brought change to the firmament above. And yet 'tis clear that a more dynamic element is required for the natural cycle of precipitation and evaporation to be complete. Wind, probably. So we need movement. Would wind do the trick? He nods. Most certainly. She smiles at him. It seems we have a plan. Let's not dwell too much on the effects of each individual element, and instead focus on seeing them all restored, says Thancred. Everyone nods except for probably Gaia, it looked like. The power of an oracle, not to be sniffed at, it seems. Shanna looks down and away, her thoughts and/or recounting from the future. I don't know. All my life, you were a constant companion, your voice ever seeping into my mind. Why then, of all times, did you abandon me? Deaf even to the crashing of thunder, or were you simply biding your time? Alright. This music feels to me like a remixed version of a song that was in Final Fantasy IX. That part specifically. Anyway, I will wave goodbye with the girls, with the boys' backs to you. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time. I'm definitely making more tonight, so stick with me if you want.